Everyone, this is Mr. Hunia, and this is housing, and where we're going to discuss housing styles and delving into the different housing styles that's available. Now, I understand that there are a gazillion types of styles out there, and so what I've done is I've tried to consolidate them as much as possible to make this as easy as possible for you and myself overall in learning this stuff. For me, I really like the application style of housing, so this is kind of just for you need to know it, you need to, understand it, but for the most part, it's going to be something that we try our best to breeze through and make as easy as possible. So the first thing I want you to do is you have a set of notes in Canvas, and it's like housing style notes. Go ahead and download the template. It's going to look very similar to this. So go ahead and do that. So one of the things I want you to do just is just a general thing, just erase this part right here in the PowerPoint and then just write down any housing styles you may be familiar with. If you're not really that familiar with it, that's okay. Hopefully you'll be a little more familiar as we go through these notes. And at any point I'm going too fast, you can always stop, pause to write what you need to write. So going through, we're going to talk about some housing styles. So let's go ahead and get started. So today, um, I'm going to give you what's called the supplement of housing notes. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go over 5 of these housing styles. Y'all are then going to go over the HuffPost article. And used to, there was a section on apartments and condominiums and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to focus on that right now. So just ignore that for now if you see it in your template. And when I asked you to submit your notes, you can go ahead and do that, and you'll go ahead and have that easy as pie. So, but why do we need to learn about housing styles? Well, essentially, because if you know what you're talking about, you can articulate what you want. When it comes time for you to start buying your housing or start buying your houses, you guys are going to want to be able to articulate exactly what you want and talk to the realtor and be fairly well versed in telling the realtor what it is that you're looking for. You can't just go up and say, "Oh, just give me some house on the side of the road and this is what I want," and blah blah blah. No, you want to be just you want to explain where it is, you want to explain what type you're looking for, maybe what's in the house in terms of architecture and that sort of thing. The first house we have is called the Cape Cod, which is inspired by a lot of British homes. It has steep roofs as well as large chimneys and then windows flanking the front door, which I will explain in a second. And then it also has what's called dormer windows as well as cedar shingles. And I'm going to be showing pictures of this stuff to give y'all a little bit more context as we go through it. So this is your Cape Cod house. As you see, we have what's called dormer windows. And what those are is if you look on the second floor of the house, or what appears to be windows that kind of jut out of the second floor, those are what are called dormer windows. Sometimes they provide a function, and then other times they do not. Their only function is to let light in, but other times they provide that function of, you can look out of them and things of that nature. So windows jutting out of the second floor like that are also known as what are called dormer windows. And when you see that it says that there are windows flanking the front door, if you look at the front door and you see those two long, skinny windows there, those are what I mean by flanking windows. So oftentimes when you see those flanking windows and those dormer windows, you will see things that are noted on the Cape Cod. Next, we have the Colonial, which is a very symmetrical house. So when you look at it, oftentimes the house looks the same on the right as it does on the left. It also has plenty of shutter windows, which I will explain in a second with the pictures. It also has dormer windows as well as columns and chimneys. So when you see these types of aspects on the house, typically that's reminiscent of a colonial. As you see from these colonial houses, they tend to have shutters, those little black things on the sides of the windows. So those are called shutters. So those is what's very common in colonial housing. Also, you still have the flanking on the sides of the door and then the chimneys as well. And if you think about drawing a line right down the middle of the house, up and down, the right side typically looks very similar to the left side, which is where we get that symmetrical aspect. Next, we have contemporary, which is similar to modern style, but refers to today's designs. And you guys will explore modern style in a little bit. but this is more concerned with energy efficiency. And one of the ways they do that is through a lot of natural light. So when you have a lot of natural light, you'll see windows, big windows to let in a lot of natural light. So what we're doing is with this, we also have sustainable materials as well. So it's a very, updated, sleek looking house. And at the same time, you're going to see big windows. For example, right here, we have these massive windows in these homes. So these massive windows right here let in a lot of natural light. And then we have what's called the Tudor, and I refer to the Tudor as I like to call it the fairy tale house. That's the vibe I get from it. But what you're looking at are those half timbered frame and this steep pitched roofs. And what steep pitched roofs is, the pitch is kind of how steep it can be or how flat it can be, and then it also has what's called gabled roofs. And so I'll show that in a. So when you see the pitch of the roof, you'll see those roofs go up and down. Like if you were to sit on it, you could easily slide off. So that is, what you have from the sense of the pitch of the roof. You also have the gabled roof as well, with the gable being, going up and down. And the way it is just going up and then down, and then it's going up one side and then down back the other. So it's just kind of how that roof looks. And then lastly, we have the craftsman and or bungalow. Now this gets mixed up, so I want y'all to associate what I'm going to tell y'all on um, the bungalow aspect. So this has an emphasis on natural materials. It has very wide front porches, as well as low pitched roofs. So as we have with the bungalow, you're going to be looking at those really wide porches. All right, and then if you look at the pitch of the roof here, what you're looking at is the pitch is not as steep as, for example, from the front side that we saw earlier. So it's going to have very low pitch. It's going to look very more flattened out, but not so much to the point where it's completely flat. So now what you're going to do is you're going to read the HuffPost article that's posted in Canvas. Now it says, write the following. It said name of the style of the house, 2 to 3 characteristics, and then you're going to copy and paste 2 pictures of the house, one from the article and then one from a Google search. So you're going to read this article. It's HuffPost 10 styles. It's listed in Canvas on our little calendar. So you're just going to read about these 10 different houses. The 2 to 3 characteristics that you list are just 2 to 3 characteristics that you feel will help you remember the house. And I'm not looking for, deep paragraphs, anything like that. I'm talking bullet points. So this type of house, boom, 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 and then get pictures. So one picture from the article you can totally use, and then, Google a picture of the house and then put that picture up there. So you're going to read that and submit. What I'm going to have y'all do right now is hang on to these notes. So go ahead, save this to your computer, hang on to these notes, and then when you're in class tomorrow, we will review these 10 styles and then continue along with our notes today. So at this point, you are good to do what you need to do, and that is all I've got for y'all today.